Hey everyone, and welcome to a quick week 7 update on the garden. Things have been growing pretty well. Everything's pretty much the same as it was during last week, but the strawberry plant, at least this one, has really been starting to produce. It's got a lot of flowers on it, and it's actually starting to grow a bunch of strawberries. I did get the another two today, so we've at least been able to harvest about 3 little strawberries from this plant so far. I don't know what's going on with this plant yet. For some reason, it just does not want to produce. I don't know if it's a later variety. I mean, that's possible, but right now, all it seems like it wants to do is get bushier and throw out a bunch of runners. Almost one a week right now. So, not really sure what's going on with this one yet. All of the original tomato plants are doing really well. They're starting to get a lot bigger, and obviously not producing anything yet, but I don't know who told me. I can't remember who's put it in my comments a couple weeks ago to when they were looking really sick and dying, to add carrots to the pot, and that would help. Not sure if that's just a coincidence, but ever since I did add the carrots into the pots with the plants with the sickest looking tomato plants, they actually have bounced back quite a bit. So like I said, I don't know if that's just a coincidence or if that is something that really worked out. But yeah, because I did do, and this one was always looking okay. It was just kind of a stunted plant, but I did not add any carrots to this one, and it does seem to be about the same size as the other ones. So like I said, I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. These are just the original store-bought seedling pepper plants that were pretty much dead, and I had repotted into these two pots. After about a week and a half or so of just sitting and not doing anything, they do seem to be growing their leaves back and actually starting to grow again. And they're not just bending over and looking like they're dying. So they look like they're bouncing back, but we'll see. The herb boxes over here are doing really good. The parsley's coming in really nice, and then same with the basil plants on both boxes. So that's doing really well. Over here is just the extra sunflower seed plant seedlings I had. So I just went ahead and repotted them into the pots here. I did have them in the ground up by the house, but birds kept eating the ones that were planted in the ground. So I decided to go with a pot this time, and hopefully maybe a few would survive. It looks like we still have maybe something coming around and munching on a few of them, but not nearly as bad as it was. Over here is the front garden bed is actually coming back really well. All the beans in the back are doing really well. They're starting to come up really nicely. It's 2 different varieties this time. The garden bush beans, and then there's a purple asparagus variety that's in the 2 rows on this side. And those actually just started coming up about, I think last week, 1 or 2 of them had started poking through the ground, but they're actually starting to really grow really nicely now. The pea plants, still having kind of an issue with them. You can't really see them because they're in between the 2 fences right now. Still having an issue with either a squirrel getting into here or a bird that's kind of been eating some of the plants. You can see there's a big gap right here where there's no plants in front of the fence here. There were probably one every inch and a half or so along the fence. And there's still something definitely getting inside, eating some of those, but that's okay. The next row is just the carrots. I still hadn't really thinned out at all. My bad. And then every time I weed this out too, I just cannot get rid of the clover that's growing in here. So I weed it out, and then literally 2 days later, it's all back again. So I've kind of given up on the whole carrot row. The lettuce was actually coming in really nice. It was probably getting pretty close to being harvestable, and we've had about a day and a half of really hard rain, so it's gotten beat down pretty good. So hopefully it'll start to spring back, and we'll soon have at least some lettuce to harvest for myself, and then as a snack for the bunny rabbits. Over here, though, this is really the only change I made this week. This was the extra garden bed extension I made onto the front bed here. I think last week I had just transplanted all the extra cucumber plant seedlings I had. Definitely overplanted, so I just kind of stuck them all in here around the perimeter of the fence so they would have something to climb up on if they all grew. But yeah, there's a ridiculous amount. And then the only other thing I did in here, which I didn't really think through, was I took all the seedlings I had left over and pretty much decided just to throw everything into the ground. And so all the extra tomatoes, peppers, chili peppers, and a couple, I think there might be a couple eggplants in here as well. I just basically just found a spot and stuck them in here, and decided I'll just let it go and see if any of them actually grow, because I obviously overseeded seedling trays, and I just had way too many left over and not enough space. I was gonna dig another garden bed, but it's just getting too late in the season, so I decided I had space here, I would just throw it in. The only thing I didn't think about was if all these cucumber plants grow and start climbing up the fence, it's probably going to start shading out all of the plants in here. So it's kind of a race for these guys to get growing before the cucumber plants take over, I guess. And then, yeah, these are just the extra tomato plants that I had given up for dead during week 2, and had just dumped out their pots into here before I even dug all this up. And once they were out of their seedling pots, their starter pots, they took hold and started growing here, so I just left them. Anyway, just a quick finish up before it starts raining here again. We'll head down to the other beds. Everything is down here has been doing really well. The rain has beaten down a few things, but otherwise all the seedlings we had put into this one, mainly tomato plants, peppers, and I think there are 1 or 2, I think that's a eggplant down there, because that's really the only one with the round leaves, and then there should be another eggplant right there next to it. But most of these were all the extra tomatoes and pepper plants that I had going as seedlings. And so I just went around the edge and put all those into here. They're all actually doing really well. They were really stunted while inside their starter pots, so I didn't actually think any of them would actually grow once I transplanted them, but they seem to be doing really well. This one, sorry, let me zoom out. This one was a this was one of the other pepper plants that was actually a store-bought seedling, which started off about this tall, and then just kind of kept dying and dying, so I replanted it out here. This was completely regrown from seed, and this one is doing a lot better than the store-bought one. So next year, I think what I'm going to do is just not buy any of the store-bought pre-grown seedlings and just do it myself next year, because all the ones I planted are doing about 10 times better than the ones that I bought from the store. In the middle here is just all the wheat for the wheat experiment that I put in. It's looking pretty beat down from the rain, but it's getting pretty big. Still not throwing up any tillers yet, but yeah, hopefully all this will bounce back too once it dries out, and we'll actually have some wheat this year, and we'll be able to make at least, hopefully, I'm hoping to get enough grain to make enough flour to at least maybe get 1 loaf of bread out of it. You know, the raised bed, everything over here was completely wiped out by animals before I put this fence up a couple weeks ago, but everything has definitely bounced back, so I'm happy with that. These are all just the beans. When I replanted the beans, I did the double variety again down here too. So this side is just the regular garden bush beans, and then this one is the purple asparagus ones. And then, because I was getting tired of the cucumber plants getting wiped out every other day, I did completely overseed this area too again. And I was anticipating a lot of them would get eaten again, but apparently not. They're not actually getting through this fence anymore. I think all the squirrels have given up. Then finally over here on the main garden bed, everything's looking really good over here too. The pea plants are in the garden have not been getting eaten, so those are actually growing really well. Added a couple more fence pieces for the trellis over here. And then same thing, this was just originally this row was just this row here of beans from extra seedlings I had. But then since I had some extra seedlings again from the second round of planting, after everything got wiped out the first time, I had a bunch more, so I just threw the bush ones in here. Extra bush beans I had in here, and I had extra couple of pea plants I threw over there. Over here were the mystery melons. These were from the seedlings I forgot to label in the beginning. It's starting to rain. They're actually all doing really well, so I'm still not 100% sure what everything is, but since it's been raining really bad the last couple days, I decided to stake some of them up that are getting larger, just because otherwise they were kind of just laying down and getting covered in mud. So at least until it gets drier out here, I was going to leave them staked up. But I'm pretty sure over here we have a bunch of watermelon seedlings that are coming through, and I think these might be the cantaloupes over here, and same with the ones down here. And I think we have a couple more watermelons over here. I'm pretty sure now that these down here are the big ones are the pumpkin plants that were the original ones that went in, and they're actually doing really well also. Same thing, I didn't want them to get buried in mud from all the rain, so I just staked them up for now. And then once they start vining out, I'm probably going to have them come this way and then just bring them over under the fence to let them just grow anywhere. And then finally over here we've just got all the corn that originally got eaten. So like I said, I did overplant again when I went for the second seeding. And I also had a bunch of starters inside of cups that I ended up transplanting too. Those are the ones that are in the row. Originally this was just the walking row right here, on that one and that one. Some of the ones that were planted in this walking path got eaten, but yeah, all the corn pretty much exploded and is looking really good. I was a little worried because all of these are basically in a trough, and these walking paths that I had before were constantly flooding every time it rained, and they flooded pretty good last night during last night's rain, but everything seems to have survived. So that's pretty much it. Everything's looking good. Hopefully things will continue to grow, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some actual harvest to do in a couple weeks. All right, that's going to be it for now. It's starting to rain. I need to go back inside. Have a good day, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.